Okay, let's start looking at the essential Dreamweaver interface items. I'm going to use the welcome screen here to create a basic page by clicking the HTML button here, just so I have a page open, which will give me access to the insert bar up here, which is the first thing we're going to look at. The insert bar contains a row of icons, each representing an element that you can add to your web page. A lot more icons exist than the ones you initially see here. For your convenience, the insert bar is broken into several different tabs that you can see. We've got Common, Layout, Forms, Data, Spry, Text, and Favorites. Selecting a category brings up an entirely different set of icons, each having to do with the category that you've selected. For example, if I'm building a form on my web page, I'd switch to the Forms tab, and here I'll find all the tools necessary to build a form, including text fields, radio buttons, checkboxes, and so on. If I switch back to the Common category, I'll see icons for all the most common tasks I'd be most likely to perform. Things like inserting images, adding tables, or even adding an email link. Now, you can customize the insert bar to some extent by selecting Show as Menu from the panel menu up here. So it's this little icon that we see here, called the panel menu. If we choose Show as Menu, you can see how the insert bar has now changed. Some people prefer this layout because it doesn't take up quite as much screen real estate as the tabbed view. And from here, you can select the different categories by clicking this pop-up menu. And it's also from here where you can switch back to tabbed view by choosing Show as Tabs, just like that. And some people prefer the tabbed layout because it lets you see all of the insert categories as tabs without having to click and select from a menu. It's really up to you to decide which format you prefer. I'm going to keep mine in tabbed view for now. You can further customize the insert bar by adding your own favorites. Truth be told, you're probably not even going to use half of the objects found in the insert bar most of the time. As you progress in your Dreamweaver usage, you'll get a better idea of which insert objects you find yourself using most of the time, and you might find it convenient to have them all located in one place rather than spread across several categories. I've already mentioned that there is a Favorites category here, and to add an icon to your favorites, as you can see here, I can either control-click if I'm on a Mac with one mouse, or I can right-click if I have a two-button mouse or I'm working in Windows, and I can choose Customize Favorites. And here in this window, I see a list of all my available objects, and you can see they're broken down by category here. All the items that are found under Common are listed there. All the items found under Layout are listed here. Or I could even choose from this menu just to see those particular items. So all you do here is just select each object that you commonly use and add it to the pane on the right. For example, if I create a lot of forms, I might want to have my form object in here. So with that selected, I'll click this little button, and it's been added over to the Favorite Objects pane. And I might also want to add a couple of the most common form elements I use, for instance, text fields, checkboxes, and maybe radio buttons. And notice I can also click Add Separator here to keep things organized. So if I click that, that adds a little separator, and maybe I want to go back to my Common category here. And I'm always inserting images, so I'll select that to add an image. And I'm always inserting tables, so I'll add that. And you can also move things up and down this list, which can help me get even quicker access to the objects that I use the most. So for instance, if I wanted image and table at the top of the list, I could just select image, click this little up arrow here, select table, move that up, and I probably want to move that separator up there as well. So you can move items up and down the list with these arrows, and you can also remove items. So if, for instance, I've decided that I don't use checkboxes enough to warrant having them in my favorite objects, I can just select that, click the trash icon, and it's gone. Once you're done setting up your favorite objects, click OK. And now you'll find all your customized favorite objects right here under the Favorites category. And you can just keep the Favorites category open all the time to access the items that you need. And of course, if you need something that isn't listed here, you can just pull up its category and find it from there, or even add it to your favorites if you're going to use it often. So that's the insert bar. It's definitely a panel you'll want to keep open all the time. Now you can actually find just about everything available in the insert bar under the insert menu as well. But I think it's much easier to just use the insert bar and click icons rather than pulling down a menu every time you want to add something. And remember, if you accidentally close the insert bar, just press Ctrl F2 on Windows or Command F2 on the Mac to bring it back. Or just select it from the window menu.